When you see those issues that are decimating a part of the community, when you're looking at the media, you're looking at the news, don't just say, this is terrible, this is happening. Rather than say, oh, woe is us, investigate. I guarantee you'll find that there are some people with their shoulder to the wheel in every community. You've never heard of them, but they're out there and they're duty bound to doing what they're doing to rescue young people and families in the community. Well, living in the projects, and you would hear people call it the Jecks for short, and the men that I encountered during that time of living there were generally men that were involved in gambling, that were involved in a lot of drinking, and I would hear what the men would say, and I would hear certain things that men that would come around my family say about how you handle situations, and what they talked about was primarily you handle situations through violence. You witness a lot of fights. You witness people pulling weapons on each other. I saw a man try to kill another man with a butcher knife. And I learned that then at the age of 8, being in the 3rd grade, that when police come and take the attacker away and the EMTs come and take the victim away, neither one of those parties clean up. So I, as 8 years old, was left to clean up a room full of blood. And I'll never forget the feeling of that night of seeing that and thinking that this is a part of my existence, this is a part of what I'm going through. I knew that it wasn't right, but I knew it was real. My teachers, I'm sure that they knew that we were going through some really hard times because Minden is a very small town, but to their credit, they never took it easy on me or cut corners for me. What they did was they held me to the same standard that they held every other student. I don't recall them making any special accommodations for me. And I could remember on occasion as a teenager sleeping on the playground at Jones Elementary School here in Minden, sleeping on the merry-go-round, and the stars were my blanket. So we resided in the housing development in the projects here in town until I graduated from high school and left to go out and to start living my life as a man. After leaving the lighthouse, I decided that I wanted to work hard for myself. I was doing a lot of public speaking and professional development services for agencies and organizations, and I was approached by a state agency about providing services in Minden. And knowing that my hometown had really a dearth of services, a scarcity of services for youth and families, then I was really drawn to do that. So I wrote a grant to provide some services here in Minden, and we've been able to sustain that for all these years since. It was just an opportunity to come back and to do what I needed to do for the young people in this town. In other words, to replicate what was done for me by those titans in education at Webster High School. That's why we started the Project Reclaim Youth Leadership Academy. And the mission of Project Reclaim is to provide high-quality services of integrity and fidelity designed to help reclaim the promise, the hope, and the full potential of youth and families. And the reason that I wanted to call it Project Reclaim is this. We need to reclaim some of those virtues that sustained us. It's respect for self and others. It's self-discipline. It's having a good work ethic. It's recognizing the strength of family, and it's recognizing the strength in giving back. Project Reclaim provides a life skills class, we call it Optimal Potential, at Shreveport City Court, and that's for misdemeanor offenders. What I'm focused on, is what are you going to do when you finish this class, when you move on through your life? A lot of the individuals that finish that class, they go off to college, or they go off to a vocational technical school, or they join the military, or they go off and get jobs, or they start families. And I'm happy to report that we're close to 3,000 graduates from that class. And I keep up with the census, but Shreveport City Court keeps up with recidivism data. And they've shown me that 86% of the people that finish that class don't come back to Shreveport City Court. So we've got a 14% recidivism rate, and I'll take that.
From the very beginning, the genius of America has been its citizens have understood that they can unleash their full potential only by working together, locally, and in their mediating institutions, that is, their families, churches, and civic associations. For decades, the Woodson Center has understood that the needs of Black America, indeed all Americans, can only fully be met if those mediating institutions are refortified and that local community leaders like Ron Anderson who work day and night with little fanfare, are vital if the damage done is to be repaired. Let us join together in investing in these healing agents. Your investment can help us cultivate an army of change makers. Stand with us as we diligently work towards revitalizing our nation, community by community.